Hey Vsauce, Michael here. What is time? It's a question I often found myself asking as I watched hours upon hours of my time be bored by this game, harder than in those funny pictures Shami has been posting on her Twitter recently. All I know is that one day I woke up at 4 AM, covered in blood, and all I could think about was just one more hunt. So because of this, I've now decided that the concept of time is something that I will no longer believe in, because as we all know, as long as you don't believe in something, it is not real. Therefore, from now on, the date is perpetually February the 29th, 2013. Why this date specifically? Because I want to go back to a time before the internet collectively lost its fucking mind. So what better time than an actual imaginary date? But enough about my psychosis, let's talk about the actual game. This is the real Monster Hunter Rise review.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to the rice field, back to work!
Welcome back to the video game equivalent of black tar heroin. But as with all things in life, developing a habit is not the hard part, but keeping up with it is, and this applies to addictions as well. After almost 100 hours accumulated in 2 weeks, I can safely say I'm keeping up with it alright. Always take recommendations from people that are actively addicted to something, because it means that they know their shit about the product they're peddling. Even for cocaine? Especially for cocaine, little Billy. But what exactly makes this game so addictive? Well, it's not a story, let me tell you that. The game takes place in the Monster Hunter world, a dystopic anarcho-capitalist society, where wildlife is treated with such impunity that its mere existence is considered a mortal sin. And simply being in orbital strike distance of the nearest human is considered a violation of the NAP. It is our job as Jane Monster Hunter to take care of them, and to deliver them to their swift and deserved end. Assisting us on this quest is the only wildlife that hasn't been declared as an immediate threat to the NAP. That is because they were sold into slavery to us. But this is just a backdrop for what the actual story is about. A dating simulator, featuring some of the cutest and most wholesome waifus as well as some of the sexiest husbandos. And in order for us to win their affection, we must go and complete these hunts. And this aspect is only amplified in the game's expansion, as we can now take our favorite waifus and husbandos out on dates by completing certain missions for them. So, yes, thank you for the material for my research folder, Capcom. Cute waifus, let's move on to the gameplay. What do you do in Monster Hunter? Well, I think we've already established, and as well as the title of the game itself, you hunt monsters. What else do you want me to say?
You rise, like the shield hero.
However, it's really satisfying, and in order to hunt our monsters, the game serves as a robust arsenal of weapons. So let's go over those, shall we? Great Sword hits incredibly hard, but is also extremely slow. And it's basically every Guts cosplayer's wet dream. You know, someone creamed their pants over that. That someone is me, of course. Longsword, if you play this, you are either a weeb or Metal Gear Rising is your favorite game of all time and you just want to relive the moment that Trident parries the Metal Gear Ray. So basically also a but slightly more respectable. Sword and Shield, just like the Pokemon game, it is incredibly basic. Dual Blades, you're also weeb but you just want to be Commander Levi. I don't know which of these two is worse. Lance, I mean, it is incredibly defensive and I've never met a person that likes to play these things, so
Know your fucking place, trash!
Gun Lance. Hey, probably the reason why no one plays Lance, because the cooler Daniel exists. It has a gun, so it instantly gets my seal of approval. Hammer, pretty self-explanatory, you just bonk the monster over the head with it in hopes you give it a concussion. Preferably multiple and with lasting brain damage. And you can simulate that experience, brain damage included, by bonking that subscribe button. Hunting Horn. Only play this weapon if you have a theoretical degree in music theory, or if your name is Mike. Switch Axe, an incredibly aggressive and versatile weapon, and my preferred choice whenever I play melee. It also allows you to perform same-day shipping with a pipe bomb into a monster's head. So yeah, just a fantastic weapon overall. Charge Blade, the weapon of choice for people that have a degree in theoretical theory and don't mind having a 6 TB PDF file detailing all the combos this weapon is capable of. Insect Glaive, Well, you like playing The Floor is Lava. A lot. It's like your favorite game of all time. Light bowgun. Don't let the name fool you, it still packs a punch, and it's incredibly mobile as well. My weapon of choice whenever I play ranged. And I mean, it's a gun. I made an entire video about why guns are the best choice in fantasy RPGs. This one technically counts. So yeah, it gets my seal of approval. Shameless self-plug aside, heavy bowgun. Just like light bowgun, it's also a gun, but you move like a geriatric with his walker while holding it. And personally, I prefer to be mobile. But hey, it's still a gun, so it gets my seal of approval as well. Oh, you have a gun right there, just use that, you Legolas wannabe. In all seriousness though, it's a pretty fun weapon. Very mobile, lots of versatility. And all of these weapons have their moveset augmented by A Bug's Life, allowing these weapons to do very wacky and uncharacteristic things, such as giving a gun a counter. Also, the Bug's Life makes walking redundant, as you can just traverse the entire map in like 5 seconds with their help. You'll be using these tools to hunt a large variety of monsters, such as the were-rabbit, the origin of the coronavirus, and am I allowed to show this on YouTube? Fuck it, we're doing the Japanese porn thingy with this. But why do we hunt these beasts? Well, besides the previously established reason of them violating the NAP, there's also an economic incentive to doing it. So yeah, I just said the same thing twice. You will need body parts from these monsters in order to upgrade your weapons, as each and every single one of these monsters has its own unique upgrade tree. So yeah, have fun hunting. And to offer us some greater variety, we have a large selection of possible types of quests, such as hunting quests, capture quests, and Bloons Tower Defense. This is only in the base game, by the way. It's nowhere to be seen in the expansion. So yeah, it's not the quests that give the game variety, it's the monsters that you hunt themselves, as each and every single one of them is basically a Dark Souls boss fight in its own right. And this is the point where most people will write me an angry comment or point and laugh at me, because Monster Hunter predates the Souls series by like a lot. And prepare to write an even angrier comment, as I'm about to compare the mechanics as well, because well, yeah, they are very similar too. There are two key differences, however, in the gameplay loop. First of all, you can control each and every single monster like some sort of muppet and force them to kill their fellow brethren. And secondly, the looting, because as mentioned before, every monster has a unique upgrade tree, so you're going to be killing whatever monster you want to upgrade the weapon tree of a lot. So prepare to kill Bambi, Bambi's mom, Bambi's kids. Basically, you're killing the whole fucking dynasty. So yeah, this game is made for actual psychopaths, therefore I am enjoying it quite a lot. And speaking of looting, let's talk about the slave market. So you see this little kid here? Don't let him fool you. He's actually a hardened Bosnian war criminal that sells sentient dogs and cats as actual slaves. And look, I know the game calls it hiring, but you pay the dude a one-time fee and you don't pay the dogs or cats any salary, so yeah, you're buying a slave. After acquiring your slave, you have the option of either taking them on dangerous missions with you, or sending them on dangerous missions in pairs of 5, or you know, sending them on a dangerous mission on a submarine. So overall, you just put them in harm's way. But to be fair, the submarine cat is probably the safest, as, you know, if watching people play Barotrauma taught me anything, is that being on a submarine by yourself is probably the safest option. Now, if a slave is not performing adequately, you can send them to re-education camp. They will be pitted against each other so that they learn that they cannot even trust their fellow slaves. And the floggings will continue until morale improves. So put on the nurse outfit. Now, am I forgetting anything about the gameplay? It's probably not important. Look, this video is basically the ramblings of a crack addict trying to peddle their latest addiction. This game's complexity goes deeper than the conspiracy that birds aren't real. I'm onto you fuckers. And if I were to go into detail about every little thing this game offers, we'd be here until the heat death of the universe. So if the game sounds interesting to you, do play it with friends, ruin their life as well. So I guess what I'm getting at is, get a debilitating video game problem. All the lame kids are doing it. Bye bye.